Hi guys, Dandelion Song here. There's more to see about the Back to the Future Part 2. I had not seen the JFK tie-ins, and there are some really great videos about the JFK tie-ins to Dealey Plaza and the JFK head wound, and just so many tie-ins. I did notice that it was November 22nd, and I should have gone back and looked for the JFK tie-ins, and now that of course they're pointed out, it seems like, oh, how did I miss that? So I wanted to come back and look at a few more of these things. Well, I want to show you quite a few things, but first of all, I want to start again with the Twin Pine Mall, because of course most people know that this was a foreshadowing of 9/11. And on the clock here, they had a 116, and then famously in the beginning they have 2 pines, and then later on after the time travel, there's 1 pine. Well, I wanted to show you, because this is the time on the clock, that this is also the pi, or the menorah gematria structure of the word twin. And so since twin is such a huge phenomenon symbolism in our world, it seems like, I think this might be one of the major connections here with this menorah gematria. And I usually put a little sign here for the menorah gematria. So the T is a 7, the W is a 4. Let me show you the code. This is from Pi in the Alphabet by Marty Leeds. That's in his book. I think he got it from somewhere else. So 7 and a 4, the I is a 5, and the N is a 1. So that's an 11/6. And then altogether, it's a 17, which is pi in its HI form, as in the 50th state, Hawaii. But this is also the Greek way of writing pi in the PI, but if you add the H and the I, it's 17, so this is code for pi. So this would be a perfection type of idea. And they must have noticed that, they must have noticed these numbers, and they decided to make something of it. We do have a November 6th coming up, and we'd have to look back on previous years to see what's happening with November 6th. Just to be thorough down here, this is the simple gematria, so we have a 20, a 23, a 9, and a 14. The 9 and the 14 is 23, so you have quite a few 23s in here. And this 20, I've recently decided we need to consider how it is, what things add together to this, and most notably 9/11 does. Quite a few other things too, but most notably 9/11 right now. So the T is kind of like the cross to bear. It's the symbolism of this letter is the cross behind the eyes, the information of the good and the evil eye, the 2 thieves, and it crosses right in front of the pineal gland, where the Christ is crucified in Golgotha in the skull, showing the brain symbolism of the story of Joshua. Not saying that that didn't happen, just saying that most events that actually do happen have multiple symbolism. But if this event happened in some other different way, maybe different names, different places, then the Freemasons edited these names in. We have to stay open because the Gospels and the Bible is edited and written by the Vatican, edited by Freemasons. Well, okay, so all this together. So the 223s, this is the win. So I want you to notice as we build this word up, the combining of the DNA and I believe they're talking about a hybrid here actually. The combining of the DNA is a win. See? And we do have this kind of slang in our word where, mating would be a score or a win. So we're not too far off here with the colloquialisms. So this would be 46, which adds to a 6/6. We need to make note of that. The number of the field, or the number of the hexagon, the double hexagon. Well, now, okay, so pine, there is a reason to look at this upside down and backwards, and there was a code. I just saw a few videos. I'm going to try to put links of the videos that I think are that I've noticed. I watched a great one on Facebook about, oh gosh, I'll put the link in there because right now I don't remember the maker and of this video, but it was really well done, well produced, and I wish I could produce really nice videos like that. But I've never seen anybody else talk about the quantum collapse of the wave, and that video on Facebook, which I'm going to link for you, talks about the quantum collapse of the wave, and it talks about it as a mass meditation event. And it actually has a hopeful message in it. So you might want to watch that, because I think we all need a hopeful message here. Well, since we've had this JFK tie-in, this makes a lot more sense. Okay, we'll skip to Mall first. This makes a lot more sense with the JFK tie-in. So that this is the Casey at Under the Stars, and he basically mirrors another video. I don't know how people do that. Maybe you just have permission to mirror somebody's video. I don't think people are going to give me permission because they don't have enough viewers. But and I'm happy with my viewership. I don't want to be famous. I just want to speak to the right people. So don't worry about that. But anyway, so he mirrors a video that someone else's, and hopefully he has a link in there. Otherwise, I'm going to have to study to find it. That really details and shows all the JFK information that's hidden in Back to the Future 2. Least of which is the release date, or most obvious of which, I guess you could say. Well, this Twin Pine Mall sign got a lot of attention, and we need to realize that Mall is an 1122. And the word structure itself is Ma, M-A, which is an 11 or a gateway, and we know that a Ma, a mother, is a gateway. See? And she actually is the gateway for a diversity of, you could say, the ham, the lowest level of the slave. So whenever we see these double L's, we think of it as an L to the right and an L to the left. It's almost like this is a divergence 7, which is the way that, you choose the way in your life according to the ethics and the evolution and cognition that you have on board, and the self-control. And that's the whole game, is to improve all those things. Well, these are the different L's, or the different lords, and they're also, of course, referring to people, because of the 22 refers to the ham of Abraham, the lowest level of the slave. There's a lot more evidence to show to uphold this. 22 is the ham, or the lowest level of slave. There's the temperature gradient that I've talked about a few times. There's the parasite idea of the car and the vehicle and the Lord of Hosts. So and the whole parasite concept and the fractals, the concept of the fractals, in that we are parasites of a car and we ourselves are parasitized. So I have a few videos on these things, in case that feels like it's too fast. If you're new to my videos, I'm sorry, I do kind of go a little fast, so just hang in there with me, and you will start to see what I'm talking about. This menorah gematria, I have a playlist on the menorah gematria to bring you up to speed and to give you more practice and to show you more words, because the idea of decoding these words over and over again is for us to understand our own language. Like, you may not have realized, I didn't realize how much is hidden in this word. Why? And then you would think, gosh, why did I never wonder? Why did I never wonder, of these words that are so common? And what do they really mean? Well, so she's the gateway of the common man, and some of the men are righteous, where the L goes the correct way, and some of the men men and women are not righteous, where the L goes the other way. Symbolically. Okay, so that is your JFK tie-in right here. There have been quite a few numerical tie-ins to this 1122 number recently. Another one that I've never seen anybody else talk about, which I think is very important if we see how often they use pi. And let me tell you, I get down here, this is the guy who wrote or produced Back to the Future 2. He's got tons of pies in his name. There are pies all over the place in here. So they really do care about pi. I want to tell you about Save the Clock Tower because it's this. They say this phrase over and over and over again in this movie. It's nuts. And this is also one of these high pies right here. I wonder if they think of this pi as more elevated than the other pi, which would be 25, or the pi. Okay, I'm trying to stay on topic here. So this pi is pi. It's written out as pi. And it's the 169, the 169th day of the year, excuse the fuzz on my pen, is June 18th. (169th day with 69 days remaining). Now June 18th is 6 and 9. See? And it's also the keystone of the Freemason arch. And it has a lot of phi integrated into it too. And it symbolizes the crab, which is supposedly the perfect balance of the four elements. Okay, so that is the root of this word, pine. Now, it's not a coincidence that Christmas trees are pine trees, usually. Or at least originally. So we need to look deeper into this word. Well, so down here, we do have the 169. Okay, so that adds to a 25. This is pi. Okay, so yeah, this is the p plus the i type of pi. So there's two numerical codes, at least two numerical codes. I'm starting to learn that there are actually 314, 151, 926 codes in some of these words. So we have to keep our eye open for that, especially going backwards. It would be reversed. Sometimes there's a sign that it should be reversed. Well, you might be able to see right here, twin pines, or twin pine. So this is 66 plus 44 is going to be 10. Carry the 1 to a Rockefeller number, plus the 110 stories on the buildings. So that's if you add this. So you just know for sure that this is what they're talking about. It's not a mistake. Now, NE is a 14 and a 5, which probably has meaning just in the way that the numbers lay here. But when you add them together, this is the Ra sign. And NBC, our Illuminati still worships Ra, but I think we always have to look at this symbol because it's coming through so many filters. I think the original filter of Ra is the first creation of the original 8 sounds, and it says in the Bible that, you know, that our world was created by sound. And the original 8 sounds were the Ankh, A-N-K, those sounds, and their opposites. Those were the 8. That's the Ogdoad. And then the first creation of that was Ra. And that was also thought of as the Ennead. However, there's some confusion about the Ennead because then it was Greek and it wasn't talking about the Ankh anymore. See, things get so complicated, don't they? I wish I could make it simple for you, but I think we just need to kind of embrace the depth here. All right, well, okay, I showed you all this. Now, if we add this 38 here to the 110, just to get the whole idea here, we get 148. I'm sure this means something. But one thing that occurs to me to back engineer what this might mean, it could be an N and an H. You know, it would be really amazing if it was an N and a Y, because there are so many other clues in here. In the menorah gematria, there are several letters that could go backwards here. If you add these two, it's 20. It's 22 again. So I'm not sure where they're exactly going with the 148, but we do need to take a note of that because they so carefully structured this. Now it's possible that they would reduce this to an 11 before they added it here, and then that would make a 121. It's hard to tell what these guys are up to, but I like to leave it at the 38 so I can try to understand more about what the 38 means. All right, let's see. Oh, 15 minutes. Okay, well that'll be enough for this video. We're gonna talk about in the next video, Save the Clock Tower, Robert Zemeckis. There's a place in the movie where he says 2015 a few times, and I'm going to look that up just through the calculator to see what it spelled out, what it is. Then another video, the Facebook video, which is going to be linked here, talks about the movie that came out today, sorry about how jammed up, October 21st, 2015. Let's just write this out. Which does have a lot to do with Back to the Future. So, and then, and there is a wire, of course. Doc rigs up a wire from the clock tower, and at the time of doing that, it looks like the clock says 10:01 or 10:02. So we're going to look at that. So I'd like to bring these to you. I think that there might be some. Oh, Great Scott! We have to look at that. I know why they say this a million times in the movie. Now I know. So I'll bring that to you to try to make it a short video. And then Marty McFly is also worth taking a look at. So we'll just take a few more looks at these things. I haven't watched the movie to see. There's a point in the movie where he comes back from the future to this date, and so there may be some more clues about the future here. Another thing that I saw, which I probably won't link, but on Alex Jones, I saw that they made a connection, which I wished I had made, that the president at this time, at this date, right here, looks an awful lot like Trump. So I wished I had made that connection. That was pretty cool. All right. Be right back and talk to you soon.